Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me back again with another Raw review. This Raw was the following of that amazing, epic Raw from Miami, and I must say the crowd at Raw last night fucking sucked. It was garbage. I know they had high expectations, especially coming back from that awesome Raw they had and the awesome fans that were there. Washington was garbage. I remember, I don't know if it was last year or a year before, Capital Punishment, if anybody remembers that pay-per-view. It was in Washington D.C. and I can remember that crowd also fucking sucked. So I don't understand why they keep going there when the crowds fucking are lame and garbage and they don't seem like they really get into the event at all. Uh, they had one chant and it was Albert. There was no yes chances. There's nothing. What the fuck? The crowd was garbage. Which kind of let the Raw down a little bit. Um, but let me get into Raw and I'll rant and get all into that in my video later. Uh, Raw started off with Lesnar. Actually, it started off with Laurinaitis introducing Lesnar. Um, Supposedly, Laurinaitis has brought in Lesnar, or brought back Lesnar, I should say. Lesnar gets into the ring. He's about to talk. Boom. John Cena's music hits. John Cena goes out there. He doesn't even say anything. He just goes up there and slaps the shit out of Brock Lesnar, and they go at it. Lesnar tackles him down. He starts punching him. I don't know if he meant to hit him with a right, but he clocked him really good, Cena that is, in the mouth. Busted Cena's mouth open. All the wrestlers from the back came out to separate them two. They kept going at it for at least a good 5 to 10 more minutes after that. Them breaking it up, and then they break through the guys and they go at it. Um, but yeah, it was pretty damn intense. And they now announced that they will be facing each other at Extreme Rules, and not what everybody thought it would be at WrestleMania. Have they rushed this feud a little bit? Yes. Have they rushed this match a little bit? Yes. They could have waited till SummerSlam to have this match. Uh, maybe have Cena supposedly get hurt, and he comes back at SummerSlam wanting revenge against Brock. They could have did that. Something like that. Right now we don't need any more Cena. Right now, they could have had Cena fake an injury, like I said, and then come back in August or at the Rumble. You know what I mean? Um, but now we have Lesnar, Cena. I'm hoping the build up the next couple of weeks will be pretty good to get me more into this storyline. Right now, it's good. You can tell that they really don't like each other. It could be part of the storyline, but they don't like each other. Since Lesnar was throwing haymakers at that guy, and he clocked him one time, and that was it. And yeah, it was very intense. But like I said, they're rushing this. I just hope they don't rush it so fast to where this storyline looks fucking retarded. But it doesn't look like it's like that so far. It looks kind of promising. So let's see where they go next week and the week after. I know everybody's already shitting on this, but let's just see, guys. The Rockin' thing, Rock Cena, yeah, it was kind of, it didn't live up to the hype, as everybody would like to say. But let's just let this run their course, see what they're gonna do. My question is, what are they gonna do with Lesnar? When everybody thought Lesnar was gonna face Cena at WrestleMania, so now what? What I would do, and y'all can disagree or agree with me and comment down below. I would have Brock win the championship. I know a lot of people are going to be like, what the fuck? Take the belt off CM Punk? Yeah, take the belt off CM Punk. Let him go after Austin. Let that match happen at WrestleMania. What I would do is have Brock win the Money in the Bank. We have him win the Money in the Bank and then cash it in against Punk. He can do it against him at SummerSlam. He can do it against him at, Survivor Series. Something like that. Have CM Punk, have his rematch against Brock. He loses, and, he goes after someone else, as in Austin. You have The Rock return. You have The Rock go into the Royal Rumble. Of course, The Rock will win the Royal Rumble. and then you have your Rock Brock match. Or you can do it this way. Say, like I said, have Brock win the Money in the Bank. He beats Punk. They have a rematch. Brock wins. Lights go out. Undertaker's behind him. You can have that little gimmick. But, who wants to see Undertaker versus Brock for a championship? I don't. I'd rather see Brock Rock versus the champion for a title, because I would love to see if The Rock won. His little year contract expires after WrestleMania 29. Is he going to stay for another year, or he's going to have to stay? He's the champ. What are they going to do? Same with Brock. If Brock's still the champ after WrestleMania 29, what are they going to do? His contract ends after WrestleMania. So it's a little interesting stuff going on in this next coming year, what they're going to do with these guys. I'm very curious about what they're going to do with Brock, The Rock, Cena, Undertaker. I would love to see a Cena versus Undertaker match. And as I know everybody thinks, oh yeah, Cena versus Undertaker, Cena's going to win. No, he's not. If The Undertaker would have lost already, he would have lost either to Triple H in their match, Shawn Michaels, or Randy Orton when they wrestled. I think it was WrestleMania 22. I could be totally wrong. I could be totally off. But, why not Randy Orton? He was an up-and-comer, everything. You really think Undertaker is going to want to lose to John Cena? No disrespect to John Cena, but Undertaker probably has the most respect for Shawn Michaels and Triple H. And you think he's just going to want... He wouldn't give up a win or a loss to one of them, and he would just do it for Cena? Give me a fucking break. No. WWE can make so much money off The Undertaker and his WrestleMania shit and all his other matches that he's been in. It'd be ridiculous to have him lose. Imagine that they could have a straight DVD with his WrestleMania victories. They can have all his Buried Alive matches. They can have his Hell in a Cell matches. They can have his own DVD about how he came up as a wrestler. That's already 4 DVDs that they can come out with The Undertaker. And you damn well betcha that everybody will buy those DVDs, because there are so many damn Undertaker fans in the United States, in the world, that DVD will sell out. I don't understand why everybody would think The Undertaker will lose to Cena. If Cena didn't go over The Rock, you think the Cena's gonna go over The Undertaker, where basically WrestleMania is built around The Undertaker? Give me a fucking break. I don't want to hear that stupid nonsense. I don't. But I'm ranting again. Guys, I'm sorry. After that, we had Brodus Clay and Santino versus Ziggler and Jack Swagger. It was your regular tag team match. Brock and Brodus and Santino got the win. It was actually nice to see Brodus Clay in a match for once. He actually had a 7-minute match. He didn't have a 2-minute match, a 1.5-minute match. He actually was getting beat up a little bit. He was actually in the match for longer than 2 minutes, and that's what I was happy about. Do I like these two guys as a tag team? Not necessarily. It seems like a comedy act between them two. I don't really take them very serious. But I just feel bad for Ziggler and Swagger. Not so much Swagger, because I'm not that big of a fan of, even though I do think he's a great no, great's kind of stretching it. He's a good wrestler. But Ziggler, god darn it, he needs a push like anybody would. I don't understand why he doesn't get a push. I hope, which will suck for me because I watch Raw all the time. I really hope at this draft that Ziggler gets drafted to SmackDown. I really hope so. Because then he can get his proper push. He can get pushed against Sheamus, or he can get pushed against Daniel Bryan, or a push against anybody in SmackDown. He can go for the IC title, something like that. He deserves a push, and he's not going to get it on Raw. He's not. I would expect Lord Tensei to get a push against CM Punk for the title before Ziggler does. I think Ziggler's push for the title is long gone. That's why he needs to go on SmackDown, refresh, maybe even become a face. He needs to refresh himself, and a draft to SmackDown would be perfect for him. Leave Vicky behind and all that shit. After that, we had Cody Rhodes versus R-Truth. Again, the Big Show came out with his stupid fucking uh, video package of Cody Rhodes losing. Again, Big Show, that video package fucking sucks. It's not funny. It's as funny as probably the Three Stooges is gonna be. So please stop fucking going out there in the middle of Cody Rhodes' matches and doing that, because it's fucking pointless and it's horrible. And I want to see Cody Rhodes wrestle, and I don't want to see him get distracted and then he turns around and they do his finisher and the match is over. Basically, that's what happened in this match. R-Truth against Cody Rhodes. R-Truth got the win. I'm gonna expect a rematch between Rhodes and Big Show possibly at Extreme Rules. See where it goes from there. I hope this feud ends really soon, because the Big Show is just fucking annoying now, and him coming out and interrupting his matches is just stupid. After that, we had Lord Tensei versus Tatsu. Squash match, you know. It was a squash match. Tensei got over again. I'm wondering what they're going to do with him. Who the hell are they going to feud him with? CM Punk, maybe. But really, who the hell on Raw are they going to feud him with? Cena? No, he's with Brock. Randy Orton? No, he's still with Kane. Sheamus? No. Zack Ryder? Definitely not. You know, who? I just don't see it. So I hope that shit right now has not gone over with the fans. So I'm hoping they don't just fall flat with it and just give up on it. But I'm wondering where they go with him, because my gosh, no fans are over with this guy, and it sucks because I watched his New Japan shit and he's good. He has gotten way better in the ring than he was when he first started out in the WWE. So just give this guy a chance, guys. Just give him a chance, and you will be impressed by him. Trust me. After that, we had another Punk and Jericho promo. This shit's getting pretty heated. Very personal. Jericho basically calling CM Punk an alcoholic now. Calling him CM drunk. Of course, you know, all that stuff. This shit is getting heated. Punk just pretty much said he wants to kick Jericho's ass, so I'm pretty much going to predict a rematch with them at Extreme Rules. Possibly, maybe a chair match, tables match, I don't know. But this definitely match will be a hardcore match for sure. After that, we have Punk Henry, which didn't go very long. Punk got disqualified because he hit Mark Henry with one of the TV screens on the table, on the commentator table. After that, Jericho's music blasted, so CM Punk's looking for him. Mark Henry attacks him from behind. Then Chris Jericho then takes advantage of that and gives CM Punk a beer bath. My goodness. Steve Austin would not appreciate that shit, him wasting beer like that. I just want to know if that's real beer or not. I highly doubt it, being that CM Punk is so into his straight edgeness that I really highly doubt he would let someone pour real alcohol on him. But if he is, kudos to CM Punk. After that, we had Del Rio versus Ryder. I guess you can call it a squash match. Del Rio went over on Ryder. There goes Ryder's push, everybody. You know, basic win is to get Del Rio back on the winning track and, excuse me, make him look stronger, I guess. I think they're going to do a triple threat at Extreme Rules with Del Rio, Daniel Bryan, and Sheamus. It only makes sense because Daniel Bryan deserves his rematch, and now it seems like Del Rio's been getting over on Sheamus, so we'll see what happens with them three. And then last but not least, we had Cena versus David Tonga. I farted on this match. It was garbage. It all was leading up to what happened at the end when Brock Lesnar came in from behind Cena and kicked him stiffly in Cena's lady parts. That was a pretty stiff kick. He did not try to not kick him in the balls. It looked like he may have really hit him in the balls. Then after that, he F5'd him. And that was your Raw. Yeah. I guess it was a letdown. I guess you could say it was a letdown because The Miami crowd last week made that Raw so much better. And this Washington crowd fucking shitted on Raw. It was garbage. They did not deserve to watch Raw. They did not deserve to have a live Raw. That's why I understand, like, I live in San Antonio, and there is wild, rabid fans for wrestling here. And we don't get shit here, guys. We get maybe a Raw or a SmackDown. Maybe, if we're lucky, twice a year. If we're fucking lucky. Last year, we were lucky enough to get a pay-per-view. And you know, they go to Washington 3 or 4 times a year. They go to Atlanta 3 to 4 times a year. New York, Chicago, you know, all that shit. But Texas gets left out. I don't understand that. We are crazy wrestling fans here, honestly, guys, and we always get left out in the cold when it comes to live events or pay-per-views. We have an Alamo Dome, guys. If you never even heard of it, it's San Antonio Spurs used to play in it. They host the Alamo Bowl there. That stadium can easily hold 70 to 80,000 people. Easy comparison, Royal Rumble 1997. I could be wrong. 97. HBK versus Sid. HBK's homecoming. HBK sold out that Alamo Dome. We had over 65,000 people in that Alamo Dome for a Royal Rumble. And we're not considered for WrestleMania. We're not considered for Royal Rumble. We're not considered for a Survivor Series. Nothing. 64,000 plus fans went to that Alamo Dome. They'll just watch HBK versus Sid. I mean, but shit fans in Washington who don't give a shit that they're there for Raw and watching wrestling get 5 to 6 wrestling events a year. That's what I don't fucking understand at all. Ranting again, and I apologize. That's pretty much all I have to say about Raw. Raw was mediocre at best. Next week, I think it's going to be pre-taped. I think they're going overseas. So I'm not really hoping for a good Raw out of that one, but we shall see. Please leave your comments down below, and please like my video and subscribe, guys. We'll have my SmackDown review up this weekend. I'm going to be watching it. So, thanks, guys.